Hello everyone, welcome to our session 1 of Surviving the Pandemic. Today we're going to talk about how to find a job in this difficult environment when there is a pandemic and economics are hurting. So welcome, we hope we can offer you some help today. And this seminar is mainly targeting on new grad or current student who has limited experience in resume writing and job interviewing. We are hoping you would have a general idea of how to find a job using different resources and how to present yourself well on the resume and during the online interview. First, I want to start off introducing myself a bit. I'm currently a technical recruiter at Huawei Canada. I finished my master's degree from University of Leeds in UK in 2011. During my 6 year of recruiting experience, I have recruited people from co-op students to management and executive levels. I'm currently responsible for sourcing and recruiting high-level technology leaders in AI, machine learning, software engineering, autonomous driving, and wireless network field. I'll be also reviewing technology industry hiring insight today. So let's start off our first topic. Where's to find job opportunity in 2020, especially during the pandemic? The first channel, which might not be strange to you, is job boards and career websites. Here are some career websites you may know or used before, like Indeed, Monster, LinkedIn, Google for Jobs, Career Builder. These are the most popular ones, right? And also governments provide job boards and job banks that can be accessed to. There are also specialized job search sites for particular field, like DICE for tech professionals and ArtThreads for artists. So today I also want to talk about a practical way to manage your application when you apply for jobs. Because when you're on the job market looking for new opportunities, you won't apply for only one job, right? You will use all of the resources you see, and sometimes you will be lost track. So here's the tip. There are many online job boards now provide you to subscribe new job alert in your interested field or position. You can subscribe to multiple job websites, and I will strongly suggest you to create a label or folder in your email and automatically filter all the job alert newsletter to that job folder. It's very easy using Gmail if you search how to automatically move emails to a folder in Gmail. So you would know immediately there is a new job posting online and easy to check every new job in that particular folder. And second channel, say you already have your dream employer in mind, and you can go directly to their company website, find a career page or their LinkedIn job page, and you can create a list of employers that you would like to work for and visit their website often. On LinkedIn job pages, you are also able to find the numbers of the applicants and how much you match this job. So you will see if yourself is a competitive candidate. You'll even find the info about hiring manager, which is a great way to learn about their career path and the team structure. If you're looking for some professional help in your job search, Headhunter and recruitment agency will be a good choice too. Headhunter is more for experienced job seeker. They actively recruit individuals to fill specific vacancies, but there are many recruitment agencies whose clients are pretty open to new grad or with less experience. Many of them offer temporary employment and short-term contracts. And here's my advice. For fresh or new grads, if you're able to find a full-time position, good for you. But now is a really tight market for job seekers. If you're offered by a contract or temp position, don't say no. Take that opportunity if it is in your field, because it could always lead to permanent position or contract extension if your performance is good. And it's a great way to get your foot into the door and at the very least provide you professional work experience, so you can add that on your resume. The next one is networking and referrals. Here's the fact. So many of the best jobs are never advertised. They are filled by candidates who learn from their friends, former colleagues, or ex-bosses. But I'm not telling you to chase around those people to ask for a job, but I suggest you to connect with those professionals who work in your field, or maybe you find someone from LinkedIn or alumni or your neighbor, and learn their career path. Ask them questions. But of course, you have to prepare your conversation, done your research on the company or the person, and make a great impression. And then here is the key. At the end of your conversation, you say, this is so helpful to get your insight. I'm more excited to contribute to this organization, or you reconfirm my interest in this field. You gave me great insight. Can you think of anyone who might have a good perspective for me? Or how would you recommend me to get foot in the door? And hope they say, well, send me your resume. I'll go through with the process, or I'll refer you to the HR. And this is where, this is what networking is, and it's going to pay off. It's true that it takes a lot of time, but that's how you build your network. The bigger your network is, the more likely you will find about new opportunities. And in terms of the referrals, some employers offer incentive to their employees to referring a successful candidate to the company. So you get a new job and your contact and the finder fee for attracting a top-notch employee. It's actually a win-win situation for everyone. So that's how important networking and referrals are. The working relationship you created at every job opportunities may open other doors in the future. Another main channel to find job opportunity is through virtual job fair and campus recruiting. So many on-site job fairs are already turning to virtual career fair and hiring events to find candidates, especially during the pandemic. Another main channel to find job opportunities is through virtual job fair and campus recruiting. Many on-site job fair are already turning to virtual job fair and hiring events to find candidates, especially during the pandemic. Virtual hiring event platform use checked technology and teleconferencing to simulate interactions between job seekers, recruiters, and hiring managers. We'll be discussing more about how to set yourself up for success at virtual job fairs or job interview. But here's the link I would like to share with you, which is National Virtual Career Fair. And you will find more than 100 hiring companies across Canada in this website. It's actually is very helpful. So you're good with finding new job posting now, but getting your dream job is never easy. And first impression are everything. Editing your resume should be a strategic one. A good resume makes a difference between landing an interview and being ignored. So does one know what is the initial amount of time a recruiter takes to review an applicant resume? So the answer is it only take 15 to 20 seconds minimum and 45-second maximum. From my experience, I even just took 30 seconds to screen a resume. So as a recruiter, it's true that I screen hundreds of resumes per day. And also it's true that we only spend a few seconds on each resume. So how to make your resume stand out and competitive among all of the applicants? Your job resume shouldn't fall short of anything but stellar. And here's the fact. Most of the recruitment agency or corporate HR recruiting team using ATS, which is called Applicant Tracking System, to manage applications. And all the recruiters search keywords or key strings from the job description in order to identify potential qualified candidates. So today I'm going to share with you 4 resume writing prompts so that you can easily write a competitive and ATS optimized resume. Before you start, you need to know a clear understanding about how the hiring manager think about and how do they prioritize and describe your target position. First of all, you need to identify your target job industry, whether it's technology or financial industry, healthcare, customer service. There's one thing you also need to be clear about is that you need to know what your priorities are. Like, is location important to you, or maybe you need work-life balance. Say you want to get in finance, but you don't really want to work a long working hours or after business hours. You better skip the investment or banking companies, go to a more in-house financial roles. And then you defined 1 to 3 positions you like to target in your desired industry. For example, I'm studying business and finance. I'm interested in working in the major banks and in the future as a business analyst or financial analyst or risk analyst. And after that, you study 3 to 5 job descriptions for each of your target roles. And you search those job description on LinkedIn or Indeed and find what's the qualification this position requested. And then you go back and look at your own history of work to put off the skills and experience that best reflects you can do the job. So here's a practice. Let me walk you through. You get a sheet of paper and write in one column of a bullet point from the job description. For example, okay, so they're looking for someone who has strong leadership and who is innovative and able to take initiative. And this person should be also able to work under pressure and handle deadlines. And then you think of every experience that you have done to correspond and elaborate it according to the job requirement. For example, say I have worked at a restaurant when I was in university. At that time, I have managed a team of 5 waitress and waiters, which proved that I have strong leadership. And there's a one time I came up with some new ideas about policies and trainings of how to organize the time in order to improve the process efficiency. And I can also manage a lot of tables in one time, which means I can handle work pressure. Then you rewrite something like I led a team of 5, supervised and trained all the activities, including greeting, arranging tables, delivering and collecting payments, and I maintain day-to-day restaurant operations by handling 6 tables at one time, 100 customers daily under extreme fast-paced environment. I design and delivered training to new hire waiter or waitresses with the restaurant operational procedures, standards, and best practice. Because you want to tie what you've done and translate those skills into the job requirements they are looking for and make it very clear to the recruiter or hiring manager that you can do this job. And you try to use specific examples of how past work might prepare you for this job. And try to use specific examples of how past work might prepare you for this job. In your resume, the closer a match you are to the job requirement, the better your chances of being selected for interview. And that's how you plan your resume. And next, You will choose the best resume formats to showcase your skills. Here are 3 key resume formats. Let's have a look at which format you should use. The first one is called chronological resume format. And I believe this is the most popular one. So you start off the section with the most recent job and responsibilities, and you go back from there. It will look like this. I would recommend you to use chronological resume format as it helps employers quickly understand the value of your most recent and relevant work experience. It's also the best for a smooth upward progression with a field. So you can see, this candidate started as a tester, and then he moved to a technician, and now is a specialist. So it shows a career growth. The second one is the functional resume format. So instead of focusing on your work experience, a functional resume talks specifically about your skills and accomplishments. It looks like this. However, the functional resume is the last option from my point of view, because it may suitable for people who has no experience or who has gaps in their professional experience. But at the same time, the functional resume may raise a red flag to the recruiter, since it's always better to demonstrate your actual work experience as opposed to talk about skills. So final option is combination resume format. Combination format works the best for job seekers with a significant amount of job history and who has strong capability and accomplishment. It looks like this. So recruiters welcome the combination of resume format for senior positions that require highly specialized skills. Because it's easy to identify the skills while also confirming that the candidate has the required work experience for the job at hand. The qualification summary or professional profile, as the resume showed, is a really good place to include resume keywords that will help your resume get past the initial screening by ATS system and in front of the human eye of the hiring manager. So third section of resume editing is to action pack your resume with accomplishment. Be sure that you are not leaving any important content of your resume. So there are 2 kinds of achievements and accomplishments you need to put on your resume. First, you need to add some quantifiable achievements. You may ask, how do I add metrics on my resume if I have very limited job experience? My advice is that you think of everything you have done in your career, whether it's in university or high school, or if it's really early on, as something that lead you to transfer the skills that tie into a metric. So same example, if you have worked at a restaurant as a waiter or waitress in the high school, so you learn about customer service, and you learned the importance of the efficiency, and you came up with some new ways of promotions or organizing your time, managing as many tables as possible. So like all of that you can put on your resume. So you can say, I identify ways to increase the service level by 10% through optimized workforce management and marketing campaigns. Or as we mentioned earlier, I maintained restaurant operations by handling 6 tables at one time, 100 plus customers daily, something like that. If you don't know the number, just say approximately or on average. Take a guess. The number of the customers you have managed, the size of your team, the percentage of the increase in sales, the number of the calls you take, or the customers you have served daily. So all of those are great metrics that you could put on your resume. Besides that, you also want to mention some non-quantifiable achievements, such as special project or initiative you assisted with, or you you are recognized by your employer as an employee of the month, or you are the winner of the contest, or you are selected or taking part of the pilot team among 10 people. You are giving a special assignment, such as leading a training or conference, or some procedures or system you have developed and or implemented, or some problem you identified or solved. And finally, you structure your resume with the following sections accordingly. So you put name first, and then your contact information, and the target job title, which is your objective, and your profile summary, your skills or career highlight section if you are more senior and experienced candidate. And you put job experience, make sure you have a starting month and ending month for each employment, and education, including your major, your GPA, and expected graduation year, and finally the volunteer and community involvement. Yeah, so now you know how to plan your resume, which resume format you will use, and how to put your accomplishment on the resume, then structure your resume with the above section accordingly. So I believe if you use this 4 resume writing prompts, you are definitely able to write a competitive and ATS optimized resume. Now a recruiter call you, you finally land an interview, and how to interview online and make a great impression. This is something that we will discuss in our last topic. How to interview through Zoom well. Because Zoom has exploded over the last several years. Now the COVID has hit, Zoom has become even more popular, becoming one of the most used online apps in the world for video conferencing, and most importantly for us is remote job interviewing. And there are a lot of advantages to moving job interviews online, such as there's no need to meet face-to-face, and it can be organized and attended by both parties very quickly. It's really easy to interview candidates who are out of town or out of country even. It has less pressure on the candidate. It provides employer the ability to screen candidate more efficiently. So let's take a look at some practical tips that will help you prepare on your Zoom interview. So let's take a look at some practical tips that will help you prepare on your Zoom interview. So the first is log in a few minutes earlier than the interviewer. Check for audio or video issues, because bad audio is often worse than bad videos, right? Hiring managers would rather hear you perfectly with a few hiccups in the video feed rather than the reverse. And also prepare your phone as a backup. If you couldn't log in or something wrong with your internet, Zoom meeting always provide toll-free phone number you can dial in, so you don't need to reschedule the meeting. You also need to mute your phone and use the mute button in case of emergency. If you get hit with a sneezing or coughing, or your dog is barking, you can use Zoom mute button to cut off your audio when the interviewer is talking. Same with your mute with your phone. You also want to close down all your programs on your laptop, because the program might slow down your operating system, which would affect the Zoom video and audio feed, or your interview will be interrupted by any alert chimes or pop-ups. The next one is use a cheat sheet. This tips applies to all the video and phone interviews. Especially valuable, I think. You carefully place it below the camera spill, and you can occasionally reference this if you get lost, or you want to remind yourself of some questions you want us to ask the hiring manager. The last one is one of the unique feature that Zoom has is virtual backgrounds. If the location you're using is either too messy or or has too many distractions, just consider using one of the Zoom professional virtual backgrounds. But of course, you have to practice with this first to see if this looks good. To wrap it up, my final advice for people during pandemic is to stay focused, stay positive, and always remind yourself that this is the opportunity to focus on yourself and improve your skills and add to your capabilities. It's good time for you to complete some trainings and certificate in your professional field, or exercise with more coding tests if you're studying computer science. Also, this is a time to refine your resume and research who your ideal employer is, so that you are ready to strike when things turn around. Also, in general, it's always good to have a wide range of interviews, because that's how you will be able to find a great fit with employer. So this is pretty much it for this session today. I hope this info will take you to the job of your dreams. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I have provided my info here, because I would like to connect with all of you to provide more hiring insight and trends. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope to see you soon.